The writing for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is masterful. It's full of the unexpected, sometimes clever, sometimes playful, funny, gut-wrenching, and sometimes you'll catch a surprising flash of brilliance just for an instant where you least expect it in a cutscene. And I want to show you one of those flashes. I'm the Idiot Boomer. Let's get to the time wasting. Oh, in case it's not obvious yet, this video does contain spoilers for the game. Otto von Bergow's appearance in KCD2 is his first in Henry's story. Though he doesn't appear all that often, he's a pivotal character. He is, in my opinion, one of the most consistently powerful figures in the game. He's far more politically adept than any of the other nobles that we see. He's a graceful player as he rides the changes in the power struggle between Sigismund and Wenceslas. He has a knack for capitalizing on new developments to increase his own advantage, and he often does that without fully revealing his hand to whatever side is on the losing end of his actions at the moment. The writing, acting, and direction for him in KCD2 does a brilliant job of showing him as a supremely confident asshole, to put it bluntly. Except for this one time when... But first, let's look at him when he's at his finest. When we first get to meet him in Trotsky Castle, Hans and Henry have a chat with him as they finally get to deliver their request for some political discussions. And as much as I hate this guy, watch the outcome here.
Tell me, what does Sir Hanush have on his mind? I'm all ears.
In brief, Sir Hanush, Sir Radzig, and other lords take the view that the situation has got out of control. And that's of no benefit to anyone in Bohemia, neither Wenceslas's supporters or the League of Lords. King Sigismund's actions will not lead to instilling greater order than under King Wenceslas. Quite the contrary.
Let us say that maybe. What arises from it?
Sir Hanush and the other lords on our side are interested in knowing what the stance of the League of Lords is at this moment, and whether they haven't perhaps reevaluated some things.
In other words, whether I might betray Sigismund.
I wouldn't be so bold as to suggest that, sir. We are merely interested in whether you would sit down at the negotiating table with us. It's necessary to discuss the future of the kingdom, whether it's to be a common one or not.
The future is still a long way off for me, Lord Capon. Nonetheless, Sir Hanush and Sir Radzig are right. There is disorder and anarchy in the land. Bandits riding roughshod all over. As we all know, to our cost. You will surely understand that before I begin debating who would be the better king, I must sweep my own doorstep. Only I'm damned if I know how to do that, since those bastards have wiped out half of my garrison, including my captain.
If I may be so bold, sir, you're not the only one. We also have a score to settle with them, so Henry and I will gladly help you.
Is that so? Now that is what I call the words of a knight, Sir Hans.
And you see what happens? Hans is technically an enemy messenger, but von Bergow is more than happy to hear him out. He then maneuvers Hans into diplomatically stepping back from the dangerous concept of von Bergow becoming a turncoat. And finally, he completely deflects the idea of making progress with the Lords of Lipa, and instead is pleased to accept the help of Henry and Hans to clean out the bandits that have been plaguing him. Now, on the surface, you might be inclined to think that progress had been made, but in fact, the only progress is that Otto gets some help from his adversaries to help make him stronger. And we all know how that turned out just a short time later. Here he is again, this time in full strength and in full control.
Lord Bergow! Since when did the Chamberlain of our land ally himself with such filth?
Ever since Jobst and Wenceslas started allying with filth like you, Zizka. Sir Istvan Tod is a master of your craft. He harassed Wenceslas' allies, just as you did King Sigismund's. He did a good job in Zassau, And he would have done so here too, were it not for Hanush's pair of buffoons.
After this, we don't see him for a while, and as the game nears the end of the main story, we're finally able to trap him in a tower and capture him. And of course, faced with these developments, he becomes defensive and worried and starts to make some mistakes. Seriously, no. No, he doesn't. Check this out.
Chamberlain, you are surrounded. I propose you honorably capitulate.
Would you give me one reason why I should do that, Pirkstein? I'm quite comfortable here. I will gladly wait for my allies in Kuttenberg to arrive. You can talk to them. And you're making a lot of noise. All that shooting you're doing must have been heard in the Hungarian camp.
He's got nothing but contempt for his captors. He knows he's cooked, but he banters with them long enough to test out some escape routes, and when all else fails, agrees to become a hostage, knowing that by doing it the noble way, his enemies will give him comfort and very likely more chances to manipulate them. Even as he's captured and Samuel almost takes matters into his own hands, the old goat still doesn't flinch.
What? Did you think I'd have you tortured like you did to me?
Time to settle accounts. You will pay for what you have done.
No! He's under my protection.
He's a murderer. He deserves to die.
No, you don't get to choose that.
Nobody's going to be killed here.
He's not having fun, but if he's about to die, he'll, by God, die with a sneer on his face. So now, let's talk about that little flash of brilliance, where for just an instant, his face betrayed fear and weakness. Let's go to Sukdal Fortress, where our heroes are facing off against the Proggers and a couple of chuckleheads on horseback.
As for Lord von Bergow, he's a guest here in my fortress, and we are negotiating.
What? Oh, you little bitch.
I think not.
Oh, what a puss.
We want that silver. King Sigismund wanted your heads too. But if you behave reasonably...
No.
Think of your castle and your estates, Peter. Because if you don't surrender the silver, you'll be left with nothing but scorched earth!
Here we go again. This is like Nabokov Fortress all over again. They don't have the finger of God, but we've seen what this gang can do. So, Markvart, take it away.
Would you fight us? With that garrison that is so
No.
drunk that it couldn't guard one captive? We will not wait!
But now, watch Otto.
But ain't you drunk or sober? You old whoreson!
Right here. For just the barest instant, Otto shows genuine surprise and shock and horror for the first time in the game. And an instant later, the curtain snaps back in place and he rides away with fury on his face. But it wasn't the arrow in Auschwitz that caused him to recoil. Not exactly. In that instant, the laws of honor, in his mind, had been broken. Under a white flag, a noble had been shot and grievously wounded. A noble who had spent their life playing politics and slaughtering enemies. A noble just like Otto. For just an instant, von Bergow saw the reality that Markvart would soon discover. That he and Markvart and all the other nobles weren't in fact blessed and special creatures. They were just men, just like all the other men there. Their fancy flags and shiny armor did not in fact grant them a godlike immunity from the world around them. And the trappings of nobility, which included that illusory immunity that shields you as long as you carry a white t-shirt on a stick, could be ended without ceremony by a drunkard with a crossbow that was supposed to be playing with the same rule book. The risk of death by crossbow bolt wasn't what shook him. It was the shattering of his laws of noble nature. And in that brief instant, he found himself utterly out of his element, unable to fully process the magnitude of what had happened. That's what I saw anyway, all in that one tiny little moment. So, Riders of Warhorse, well done. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have and you're not subscribed, if you do subscribe, you'll be more likely to find my videos in the future. Either way, thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Come join me for a live stream sometime if that's your thing. We're done with the KCD world for now, but there's always something that's going on. Take care, and I hope to see you again soon.